Hello, I'm Jane Velez-Mitchell, and I'm here with Rico, one of my rescues. Thank you so much for joining us. We are talking about the crisis with big cats on this planet, in the United States, and around the rest of the world. I'm going to go straight out to Donnie Moss of theirturn.net. Donnie, bring us the very latest on what's going on with attacks by tigers in captivity against humans, and why it's an illustration of the victimization of these incredible animals.
Jane, last week an 8-year-old girl somehow managed to get into an enclosure of tigers at a Chinese circus, and a tiger mauled her and killed her. This comes just 1 month after a 20-year-old man at a zoo in India fell into a tiger pit and was killed there on camera in front of horrified zoo visitors. And this just illustrates the fact that these predators, nature's greatest predators, should not be held captive in any setting. It's inhumane and it's unsafe.
I want to go to Ben Callison, our very special guest from the Cleveland Amory Black Beauty Ranch. It is an honor to have you. You have rescued some big cats. Tell us about how you got these cats out, where you got them from, and where they are now.
Well, thank you, Jane, for having me on. It's an honor. Yes, we actually have 4 tigers here. 3 of them were rescued from a roadside zoo, a defunct roadside zoo in Collins, Mississippi. And Alex, our youngest tiger, came to us a couple of years ago from a backyard in Kansas. So, again, very common for where we see these types of tigers coming from these backyards and these roadside zoo facilities. Here now,
how'd you get them out, Ben? How'd you get them out?
What's that?
How did you get them out?
Well, that's a great question. For the Collins Zoo, we actually had to do a 1-year undercover investigation. Through that, we were able to document the conditions at this facility, and through that process, we were able to convince local law enforcement to get involved, which they were happily to do so, and they were able to seize them and get them moved out of that facility. And with Alex, the owner had actually abandoned the property. He had left, and so the sheriff was concerned with this issue and did not know how to respond to it, so he contacted us, and we were able to coordinate a rescue very quickly to get Alex out of this small enclosed dog.
Let me say this. Of the 5,000 captive tigers in the United States, only a lucky few, like the 4 that you've rescued, will be rescued and relocated to sanctuaries where their needs take top priority. And in fact, the 4 tigers that came to the Cleveland Amory Black Beauty Ranch in Texas are among the lucky ones, but they are very, very, very lucky in the sense that the vast majority of them end up stuck in these tiny, tiny enclosures. Donnie Moss, these animals are capable of roaming great distances in the wild. This reminds me of the blackfish situation, where you put a killer whale in what amounts to keeping a human in a bathtub for their entire lives. That's what it feels like for a tiger to be in a small enclosure. Isn't this why people need to boycott the vast majority of zoos, except perhaps for those tiny fraction of zoos that have such open space that they really should be renamed sanctuaries?
Jane, in the wild, a tiger can carve out a territory as big as 39 acres. They can run 30 to 40 miles per hour. They can swim many miles each day. There is no captive situation that can replicate a tiger's natural habitat. In the United States, the vast majority of these tigers are held, as you said, in these dingy cages in people's backyards. They've even found big cats in apartment buildings here in New York City. There is a law, Jane, or a bill, I should say, that we need to pass into law. It's called the Big Cats and Public Safety Protection Act. You can find out more information at catlaws.com. We need everybody to contact their U.S. representatives and their senators, catlaws.com. I actually went, Jane, less than a year ago to India to look for big cats, actually tigers specifically, in the wild, and we spent 3 days and we didn't see any. I don't know if that's a bad sign because they're being poached, or if that's a good sign because they have so much land in this particular park that they're able to spread out and get lost and hide from us.
Well, let me ask you this, Ben. Tigers are in crisis. Virtually all animals that are in the wild are in crisis because we're destroying their natural habitat for a variety of reasons. I don't use paper towels because I view paper towels as a tree, essentially. And so I don't want to use a tree when I can use a rag over and over again. What would you tell people besides calling your representative and demanding that they support the Big Cats and Public Safety Protection Act, which is super important, but also about, Americans use so many natural resources. We could really lower our carbon footprint, and in doing so, for example, I don't buy wrapping paper for Christmas or the holidays. In fact, I don't buy gifts whenever possible. Maybe there's 2 or 3 people that I have must-buys, and that's it. And usually what I'll try to do is get them something associated with a charity, like Adopt a Pig in their name or something like that. And, of course, they're sick of that year after year, but I keep switching the species. But I guess what I'm saying to you is, what can Americans do? Because our carbon footprint is massive. What can we do to make ourselves less destructive to the environment so that these creatures have space in the wild to roam? And we know, for example, the orangutans are being wiped out by the palm oil. And so I have now decided not to use palm oil wherever possible. Good luck. It's very difficult to not buy anything with palm oil in it. Go ahead.
You're absolutely right, and this issue is absolutely a front issue, and we have the issue, of course, the wild populations are getting decimated. Estimates here in the United States put the low estimate around 5,000 or more captive tigers in America, and the estimates in the wild less than 3,000. So that means that we have more captive tigers here in the United States than both issues. You are right that our carbon footprint is affecting the wild populations, and you can get involved in those areas, absolutely, by reducing that and helping on that front. And then here in the United States, obviously we need to ban this private ownership. So these tigers are pushing in these subpar facilities and private ownership, and hopefully get this issue resolved, and the sanctuary community will continue to take in tigers as much as we can. But you are right, our phone continues to ring every day with requests. It's just overwhelming right now to deal with. And so what they can, that's how they can help. Get involved in this issue. Call your legislator. And as you mentioned about giving a gift of adopt an animal, you can actually go onto our website at fundforanimals.org, and you can actually adopt Alex, or one of our tigers. You can virtually adopt him, of course, and our work here.
You're breaking up a little bit, but that's important information. And guys, this technology is evolving. If you're watching, please bear with us. We're trying to talk to people who are important. Not everybody has the same broadband connection, and Ben is doing incredible work at the Black Beauty Ranch. So tell us again, Ben, what is the website to go to if you want to adopt a big cat for the holidays instead of giving a gift that's going to destroy our planet? Tell us again.
Absolutely. If you go to the Fund for Animals, F-U-N-D-F-O-R, animals.org, that's our organization. Right there on the main page, you'll see a picture of Alex living in his huge 3-acre enclosure here. And you can virtually adopt him, give that as a gift, and support our work here, and help us in this fight to try to end this captive ownership issue of big cats.
Well, I want to thank you, because I was just trying to think about what on earth I could get my VIPs that I have to get gifts for every year, but I pretty much go out of my way not to buy physical gifts that are going to destroy the planet. I refuse to use wrapping paper. People, just think of it as trees being decimated, and think of all the wild animals that are in those trees who are basically running for their lives because you are using up their homes to wipe your kitchen counter. And you're spending $1,300 a year approximately on paper towels, which is totally unnecessary. So save yourself $1,300 a year. Get rid of the wrapping paper for the holidays. Get rid of physical gifts for the holidays. Go to fundforanimals.org and adopt a big cat. That's what I'm going to do. Donnie, I want to leave you with the final word. I know theirturn.net has been all over this story. You know, we really have to, we're at a crisis point. I was talking to a mom today, and I said to her, yeah, I don't have children. I've got little Rico here, but I don't have human children. And if I did, I would certainly want to leave this world with some wild animals and not just decimate all the species. And you know what she said to me? She said, you're right, but you know, when you're throwing away that diaper, it's so much easier to throw away a disposable diaper than to wash an old-fashioned cloth diaper. And most parents make the wrong choice, including myself. I thought it was honest, but it's frightening.
Well, one easy choice for parents to make on this issue, Jane, is to not take their children to zoos and circuses and other places where big cats are being held captive. If people want to teach their children about wildlife and help them protect and preserve the planet, turn on the TV, watch the Discovery Channel and other shows where we can actually watch these animals living natural lives in their natural habitats. When we take them to zoos and circuses, we're not only supporting animal cruelty, we are showing children what animals look like when they're pacing back and forth. We need to end the use of big cats and other wild animals in these active situations, Jane.
But I live in Central Park, and tourists come up and ask me, where's the zoo? And I say, I won't tell you, because I don't go to the zoo. And I have to leave it on that note. I want to thank Ben Callison of the Cleveland Amory Black Beauty Ranch, bringing in 4 tigers from horrific conditions and giving them a decent life. And let's all get together and call our legislators. And once again, I want to say it, U.S. representatives and senators, ask them to support the Big Cats and Public Safety Protection Act. And then for the holidays, go to fundforanimals.org and adopt a big cat. Don't give a gift. Don't use wrapping paper. Thank you, and signing off. Until next time.